I'm loving you every day. I was just rocking to Mary. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, 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 everyone. I am giving people a few seconds to get on. I don't expect people to necessarily get on here live with me. You can always watch it later, but just want to give you some time. But I am late, so please, please, please excuse my tardiness. Let me look at the camera. Please excuse my tardiness, but thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in to A Day with Renee. I'm your girl, Renee Nicole, and I am here with a Monday motivation. I felt motivated, so I want to share some motivation with you. Okay, let's hop right into this thing. God has been dealing with me with consistency and distraction. And those two things kind of go hand in hand. So I figured I'd come on here and talk about these topics with you. Because anytime God gives me a word, I don't like to just keep it to myself. I like to share it with my folks, my people, because I know if he's talking to me, then he's probably talking to you too. And if we talk it out together, we can get through this thing, okay? I talked in the last midweek inspiration, maybe a week and a half ago, about almost 2 weeks ago now, about how productivity motivates and keeps you from falling into a pit and falling into depression and sadness. And so I wanted to keep that same energy with this topic today. Just talking about consistency. Consistency is the key. When we talk about getting out of that rut and getting out of that pit and being productive, the way to do so is just to be consistent. I am in a stage right now with my life, with my career, where it's like it's hard to see where this thing can go, right? When you're doing YouTube, when you're doing I have a podcast and I have an Instagram live show. When you're doing those type of things for yourself and you're not making money off of them yet, it can be hard to see the next step or even like the goal or the finish line. But God told me to be consistent. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've started and stopped something, whether it be a blog, whether it be my YouTube channel. You can go back and see how far back this thing goes, but I'm just now really being consistent and working on upping these numbers and being consistent and giving you content. Who's going to come back if it's been months since the last time you seen your girl? Okay. So I am really, really, really focusing now on consistency because God said, when you're consistent, I can work with that. Okay. Faith without works is dead. So I have all this faith of being a host. I have all this faith of putting my journalism degree to work by hosting these shows and by, producing these podcasts and producing these blogs and blogs. But where's the work to back it up? Okay. How can you expect fruit? How can you expect to get paid if you don't show up to work? Okay. So that is the number one word I have for you, baby girl, baby boy. You might work a 9 to 5. You might have a business on the side. You might have left your job to pursue your business full time. Whatever it may be, I want to encourage you to be consistent. Let me tell you how I know that God was speaking to me through this word. Whenever he gives me a word, he supports it, okay? And he supported this morning by leading me to watch the Anchored series on Transformation Church, their YouTube channel with Pastor Michael Todd. And the particular subject was on distraction. Let me tell you, one of the key ways to eliminate consistency, one of the key ways to lose consistency is distraction. We've got the TV, we've got text messages. Oh, one of the things I remember years ago, I almost got rid of my cell phone because it's like people just have immediate access to you and you feel rude not responding because they know this thing is near you at all times. So why aren't you texting me back? Why aren't you calling me back? Why aren't you emailing me right away? And it's like, I need to decompress. I need to get away from the distraction every now and then. That's why a lot of people you'll see take social media breaks. The distraction. And it's not just necessarily about the negative, what negative things that they're reading or seeing, which could be also a distraction, but it could also just be like you're taking away my focus. I was doing this thing and now social media's got me distracted. So I wanted to give you a few ways to rid of distraction, to be consistent, and to see fruit, because that's what we all want to do. When I say see fruit, that means that you put in the work to produce your podcast, and now it's actually out there. It's on all podcast platforms. It's all on YouTube and all that stuff. Or you wrote a book and now it's published. Now it's on Amazon. Now it's at Barnes and Nobles and I can go purchase that thing. Okay. That's what I mean by fruit. You want to actually see yourself. You want to see whatever project you're working on to the finish line. You want to see the fruit of it. You want to be able to hold that baby and say, I birthed that thing. Okay. So we're going to get into some tips on how to do so. Tip number 1, get tired of being tired. I'm just waiting for that to register because I know that registers with some of y'all. I'm waiting. I know that registers with a lot of y'all. You have to get tired of being tired. Let me tell you, okay? I know I go back to this a lot of time, but this is just my testimony. This is just my story, okay? And sometimes you got to share your story repetitively so people can get it. You never know who new might be hearing this today. 9 to 5s, worked a lot of them, okay? Unhappy, miserable in all of them, okay? Because I knew that it was something else for me. I knew that I found pleasure, I found joy, I found excitement, I found fulfillment in creating content, in seeing the fruit, in seeing my baby come to life, Those were the things that feel me. Yes, it was work, and it was grueling work because A, I'm not getting a paycheck, and B, it creativity can be tiresome. Creativity, you have to be on, and to be able to come up with things, and sometimes you can feel a blockage, So with that type of work, it can be difficult, but the finished product of it all, okay? The finished product is so sweet, and it makes it all worth it, just very much like having a child. A lot of mothers say the pain is excruciating while they're in labor. But once they're holding their baby in their hands, they forget about the pain, or they're like, oh, I do it all over again just to be able to hold my baby. And that's what it's like, And so for me, I got tired of sitting in a job being tired. I had to get tired of it to actually say, you know what, I'm starting Renee Nicole Productions. I'm starting a podcast. I'm starting a show. I'm going to I'm going to collaborate with other content creators, and I'm going to see where this can go. That was the first stage of me getting tired. And then, thank God I was able to come home and focus on those things, but still having to push myself without the motivation of a network saying, okay, I have this deadline for you, or, even a certain amount of viewers expecting my content every week. So easy to jump on here 10 minutes late when I know it ain't gonna be a whole bunch of people on here waiting for me. I had to get tired of sitting around waiting for something to happen that I wasn't even working towards. I had to get tired of sitting around here saying I'm creating this production company, but not creating a production company, only taking a few steps and not continuing to do the daily work because it is a daily job, So whatever it is that you have been putting on the back burner, you have to get tired of it sitting there. You have to get tired of saying a thing or thinking about a thing or wanting a thing and that thing not happening. Why? Because you're not putting in the work. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, do the things that motivate you. Okay. For me, one of the reasons I know that I was in that rut for such a period of time was because I could not get out of this place of not wanting to worship. For me, my worship is my weapon. Okay, I know y'all know that song. Some of y'all praise, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled believers up on here know that song. Worship is my weapon. And a lot of the time, um, for a long period of time, I just didn't have a worship. I didn't have a praise. I had it, but it wasn't authentic. I did it out of obligation, and it was a real stagnant worship. Okay. And just within these past couple of weeks, I went back to church on Easter. I was a CEO. I went back on Easter. And man, it remotivated that spirit within me, and just today, this morning, after watching Transformation Church, I worshiped and it was authentic, and I just said, what a good father, he is. And I was grateful, and I've been writing down multiple things I'm grateful for. I was sharing with my best friend who helped me with a photo shoot on Saturday, which was phenomenal and was such a great experience with Kevin Ewing Photo here in the DMV area if you're looking for photography. But I was sharing with her because that morning it had been pouring raining first thing in the morning, and then it was hazy. It was cloudy outside, kind of foggy, and I wrote, "I'm grateful for the fog. I'm grateful for the haze." And sure enough, by the time my photo shoot got started, the sun was shining. It was warm out. It was a beautiful day, and the pictures came out great. God is good. You have to show Him gratitude, and you have to do the things that motivate you. So for me, one, worship, praise, spending time with Him, and just in spending time, you don't have to watch the same. For me, you don't have to watch the same church every week. A lot of people are virtual now. For me, I find the messages that I know are going to speak to me. I knew I needed to hear about distraction, so I listened to that message today about distraction, and right on time. Okay. And then on top of that, I worked out. Another thing that motivates me, gets my energy up, and gets me to where I need to go. Okay. So that's step number 2. Number 3, put something out there. For me, for the longest, I would have great ideas and sit on them and be frustrated because they were not coming to fruition. Well, how do y'all come to fruition when they just in your head? Write them down and do them. And for me, um, I love perfectionists. I love y'all. Okay, y'all, you're cute, you're beautiful, you're great. But a lot of the time, your perfectionism is not even perfection. Okay, so why not put something out there that is that God is telling you to, that is, and this is, doesn't necessarily just have to be for content creators, but that's just my testimony. Okay, but whatever it may be, start the process. Put something out there. A lot of people who make short films or do web series, they'll put out the pilot, just to get the buzz, just so people can see what you're up to and get the interest out there. And you never know who may be willing to or interested in collaborating with you on account of you putting that out there. Because a lot of the time we try to do things on our own, and that's a whole nother episode, a whole nother blog here or YouTube video here. But collaboration is such a big thing, and when we try to do things on our own, sometimes that holds us back. So if you have someone that you can collaborate with or talk to or talk it out with, just to bounce ideas off of, brainstorm with, do that and put something out there. Okay, next step. Remember that feeling and do it again. Remember that feeling when you put it out there and you got that positive feedback, or you got some constructive criticism, but it just felt good that you got it out there, and now you know where you need to, change things up. Do that. Do that again and again and again and again and again, until you're producing. Now you have a whole portfolio of things that you've done because you put it out there. For me, like, just, getting the photo shoot done. I got my photo shoot done. I've been wanting to change my highlight covers on on my Instagram, change my bio. These are things I've been putting off, but I did it, and It was so fast, it was so easy. And I was like, man, that feels good. I want to do something else, you know? And it just makes you remember that feeling, you know, remember that feeling and let that drive you to keep producing, to keep putting things out there, to keep seeing things to fruition. Keep on manifesting. Okay. Last thing, no. Next to last thing, shut things off. Distraction, like I said, can come from the television, it can come from the telephone, it can come from so many different avenues. If there's something that works for you, like I do like to listen to podcasts sometimes, I do like to listen to music sometimes while I'm working. I need to hear something. Sometimes, though, if I'm reading something or if I'm writing, I have to shut everything off because I'm hearing that and I can't think and I have to read something over and over and over again. Now I'm prolonging the process. So cut off the things that do not work for you. And sometimes those things change. You might have been listening to music for a month and that might have got you going, and now you need silence. Or you might have been doing something else and now that don't work for you. It's okay. Be adaptable, be willing to change, and be willing to have the conversations with the people around you to let them know, look, I am working right now. You know, shut the door if you have to. You know, if there's noise going on, shut the door. If you have little kids, give them, you know, something that's going to keep them occupied. I know that's so much easier said than done. I ain't got no kids, so I don't even want to touch that. But I know I have a little dog up in here, and sometimes I have to give them something they might not should be chewing on. But it's like, look here, if I can just get 30 minutes of you being quiet and not jumping on me, that'd be great. Okay. So last one. And I feel like this ties everything together because if you're going to work out, if you're going to, you know, get productive and do all of this and do that, you have to get enough rest. That might be hard if you have a newborn. That might be hard if you have a new puppy. That might be hard, you know, if you're going through something that's created, you know, insomnia. But do your best to get some rest. And if you have those things, those factors, find a little way to put in a little 15-minute cat nap. I know that works for me sometimes. If I didn't get enough sleep, if I can get 15, 20, 25 minutes somewhere within the day, that gives me another, you know, adrenaline rush to get done whatever I was working on before I went to sleep. So rest, man, rest. Put yourself on a schedule. Wind down at a reasonable time so that you can be asleep by a reasonable time. I know for me, I'll think, okay, I want to go to bed at 11, or I want to be asleep by 11, but I don't get to bed till 10:59. How you gonna be asleep in a minute? Who? I mean, you gotta be dog tired to fall asleep in a minute. So wind down at 9:45. You know, start winding down, turning off the lights, putting stuff up, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth. I hope you're doing both of them things. Okay. And then, you know, read a book, turn off Instagram, stop looking at your emails, put your phone on silent if you can. These are things that I do to wind down, read a book, gets me a little drowsy, you know, turn on something on the TV that I don't have any interest in, you know. Um, and that will help you wind down and have the energy that you need to get up a little bit earlier so you can do those things that fill you, get your worship in, get your workout in, and then get ready to get to work. Baby girl, baby boy, I want to see you succeed. I want to see me succeed. And the only way we're going to do that is to be consistent and stop the distractions. So I hope this motivated you. It blessed me this morning when God gave it to me, so I had to share. I love you guys. Be sure to follow me on all social medias, Renee Nicole I am. And look for my website. It's coming out soon. I also got some other goodies coming out soon. Yeah, and check out my blog. I don't always update it, but I will be more. It'll probably be on my website soon, but check it out, disclosenativeblog.com. I love you guys. Have a blessed, productive week. Be consistent. Love you.